PinkPantheress illegal. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Guys, we got a really good episode for you today. We have PinkPantheress. We're doing a whole ass review marathon this week of PinkPantheress. So expect nothing for the rest of the week but just PinkPantheress. And we're going to end off the week with a PinkPantheress album review. So that's going to be really awesome, guys. We're going to be all the episodes we're going to be doing all at night. This is going to be just a really good night vibe to talk about this stuff. Because, guys, we have an artist that, we've been following for ever since the Ice Spice song came out with her. Ever since that Ice Spice feature happened, we've been keeping up with her ever goddamn since. And I'm not going to lie, guys, the journey has been quite great. Despite, Ice Spice journey going really down the rails after we got through one album. We got through one album and we're already going downhill with Ice Spice. But PinkPantheress, has been just making some great music. I mean, this music is just so fun to listen to, so addicting to listen to. She dropped a new album called Fancy That, which we will be doing a whole review for. We're going to do a couple of track reviews this week, and then we'll end off in the album review. So let's just get talking about this. Starting off with the first point. I really love this beat. Now, this beat is sampling Underworld's 1994 song Dark and Long, Dark Train, a snippet of IIIegal. This right here, this is, a sample. And, typically I don't like samples, taking over the production. But, when you can take samples like a 1994 sample and actually, create something out of it, actually make something happen here, I'm always going to get praise for that. I'm always going to, really respect that. So the producer of this beat, needs a pat on the back. I think the way this sample is used, the background vocals, the luscious, synths, these luscious tones, these samples, this vibe, it all really comes together. I really like the vibe of this song. It has a really addicting feel to it. And, I love the fact that, we get this loop. We get this really nice loop of a good-ass sounds, a good sample, some good drums. Love the kind of, drum and bass feel that all these beats have. Reminds me of some, bedroom pop type beats. There's all of those elements baked into there. But one of my favorite elements that's baked into this song is the R&B elements. There's some great R&B vocal presence in this song. And I think overall that's going to make IIIegal such a more enjoyable experience to listen to. I love the fact, we start off with this simple loop and then we end off with the hook. And when this hook comes on, that's where this sample, this instrumental, these synths, these luscious tones in the background, they all fully get to shine here. The background vocals start, pouring out, and the R&B vibes really come out of this hook. And I think it makes the hook that even more addicting. It makes it, that good of experience to listen to. And it's like, holy goddamn shit. It's been a while, guys, since I've listened to sample production, especially lately, guys. A lot of artists have been using a lot of goddamn samples, and not a lot of artists can really do anything with these samples. One of the great things that I recently, checked out, was a creator, I actually, say here, if you ever heard of the hip-hop YouTuber Sean C that talked about stuff, I was really listening to a point here talking about, in 2025 music, if you're going to use a good sample, if you're going to use, these sounds, if you're going to use stuff from the past, you got to kick it up a notch. You got to make it your own thing. You got to go, okay, I love this sample. I love what this has, but I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to monetize it. I'm going to, make it even better than what it was before. So I really love that the fact that this whole mixtape, as you can call it, has all of these different samples, has all of these uses. I heard there's a Nardo Wick sample on one of the songs, which is just funny as hell, and I also think we're going to be covering that too. So that's going to be awesome to talk about. But yeah, I love the fact that PinkPantheress is actually using these samples to her benefit, the way her vocals, these soft, dreamy singing vocals really come through. And I'm going to say overall, I really enjoy this instrumental. I love how layered it is. I love all the details that are in it. And when that hook swings in, you know, I love every aspect of this goddamn beat. So overall, I really enjoy this instrumental. Now, let's move on and talk about, because not everything's the beat, not everything's the instrumental, but how did the Pink Pantheress performance go? Starting off with the first verse. Now, I really enjoy the first verse. I really like the flow that PinkPantheress has on here. And I like how it's short and sweet, but it's short and sweet and it actually works. You know, so many times that I listen to artists that, you know, try to do the under 2-minute TikTok song. You know, there's a difference between artists who know what they're doing, you know, with a 2-minute TikTok type song, than an artist who, you know, looks at the 2-minute formula and goes, all right, I'm gonna do that too. And they try to emulate it, but they can't emulate it. So this is kind of that example here. I really love the fact that this verse has so much layers to it. The many flow switches that PinkPantheress can do on her verses always comes through, and that leads up to my next point, which is the hook. I'm going to say this, guys. The hook is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, background vocals start coming in. The singing from PinkPantheress on the hook, guys, you know, when you're putting this song on the goddamn headphones, when you're playing this shit on your speaker, when you're playing this goddamn song, I'm not even going to lie to y'all, guys. When that hook comes on, you're just going to be, you know, swinging your goddamn head back. You're going to go, holy fucking shit. I'm going to say this. The hook is absolutely fantastic. I love the sounds. I love everything there. I love the slight little switch up. And that's what I love about it, guys. You know, the beginning was really good, but the hook is the extension, is the evolving version of the first verse. So many times, you know, it's like we give up on the first verse. We don't build up to this hook, and then the hook feels flat to listen to. This is great buildup. This is great buildup. So I really love the hook. The hook's really good too. Love that little, you know, in-between bridge and sample really helping out too. So yeah, guys, I think overall this is a really good song, a really great song to start out this whole like review marathon of this album. Guys, I really enjoyed this song. I'm easily going to give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, honestly, I'll be real, guys. This song alone is probably a 9 out of 10. You know, I'll just be real. It's that good. So make sure you go check out this song, guys. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. So let me know. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're going to be dropping new content every single day. PinkPantheress reviews all goddamn week. So make sure you get ready for that, guys. I'll see you later. You have a good one. Bye.